Near a secluded mountain guest house, a bizarre murder took place. A strong, well-built male traveler was struck on the head with a dumbbell and died inside a clock tower near the lodge. Because heavy snowfall had sealed off the mountain, all roads leading from the guest house and the clock tower were buried under ice and snow before and after the crime, making them completely impassable. Therefore, the murderer had to be among the 6 people staying at the guest house. The problem was that 6 of the 7 suspects all had perfect alibis. Only one person, a 15-year-old middle school student, had no alibi at the time of the crime. Could this seemingly innocent, immature boy really be the killer? In this episode, Tian Chang continues the Destroying Alibis series. This is a detective drama adapted from the works of Japanese writer Narui Ichiro Oyama, who is praised as the god of short mystery fiction. His stories often feature few characters and simple plots, yet are built with extremely clever designs. Today's story is particularly special. If you're interested, please listen carefully as I tell it in detail. The story begins at a mountain guest house in Yamanashi Prefecture, Japan. On this day, Machine, a supervisory officer from the forensic division of the local police department, arrived alone at the guest house for a vacation. However, right after checking in, a blizzard struck. The heavy snow quickly blocked all roads leading down the mountain, trapping Machine and 4 other guests inside the lodge. Their travel plans were completely ruined. Since someone is about to die, let's first meet the 7 people staying at the guest house. The middle-aged couple who run the guest house, Mr. Su and Mrs. Su, police officer Machine, Hihara, a slightly overweight, kind-looking male programmer, Hui, a warm and outgoing female office worker with long hair, Amu, a quiet man in his 30s who doesn't like socializing, and Xiao Chu, a 15-year-old middle school boy who dreams of becoming a police officer. Machine and the 4 guests were all visiting the guest house for the first time and didn't know each other. At dinner that evening, all 5 guests gathered on the first floor. Machine, Hihara, Hui, and Xiao Chu chatted happily together. Machine, Hihara, and Hui were curious why Xiao Chu was traveling alone without any adults. Xiao Chu explained that his parents worked abroad year-round and he had grown up living with his grandmother. Last winter, his grandmother suddenly passed away, and since then, he had often been on his own. Xiao Chu's grandmother had loved food and once heard that Mrs. Su was an excellent cook. Sadly, she never had the chance to taste her dishes before passing away. Xiao Chu hoped to eat the food on her behalf, so he came alone during winter vacation. While they were chatting, the unsociable guest Amu sat at a nearby table, eating silently while repeatedly rubbing his knife and fork together, producing an irritating screeching noise. The sound annoyed the others so much that the conversation ended and everyone quietly finished their meals. After dinner, a bored Machine invited Xiao Chu to his second-floor room to continue chatting. Machine initially said he was just a government employee, but once alone with Xiao Chu, he revealed that he was actually a police officer and shared his experience of applying to the police academy. Xiao Chu, who dreamed of becoming a police officer, listened with fascination. They talked until 11 p.m. Machine then walked Xiao Chu to the window to relax. The blizzard had stopped, and the world outside was blanketed with thick snow, beautiful beyond words. Machine turned off the lights to better enjoy the view. While admiring the snow, they noticed Amu sneaking across the snow towards the clock tower about 20 meters behind the guest house. He kept stopping and looking back, as if checking whether someone was following him. After entering the dimly lit tower, he immediately shut the door. Machine and Xiao Chu were curious. Was Amu trying to steal something? They soon dismissed the idea, since the owners had said the clock tower was abandoned and only used for storage. Though suspicious, they didn't think much of it. Xiao Chu returned to his room, and Machine stayed by the window until about 11:10 p.m., when he finally closed the curtains. During that time, Amu never came out of the tower. Machine lay down but couldn't sleep. After 4 minutes, he decided to go downstairs for a drink. When he stepped out, he ran into Hihara, who was also unable to sleep. They decided to go together. In the dining room, they found Mr. and Mrs. Su and Hui drinking and chatting. Machine and Hihara joined them. The five talked happily until midnight, then returned to their rooms. The next morning, everyone gathered for breakfast, except Amu. Mr. Su went to his room and found it empty. Machine immediately felt something was wrong and told Mr. Su about seeing Amu go to the clock tower the night before. They went to investigate. Outside, 3 sets of footprints led from the guest house to the clock tower. Based on size and tread patterns, the prints belonged to 2 people. Inside the tower, they found Amu dead, his head smashed, with a blood-stained dumbbell beside him, the murder weapon. Because of the snow, police would take at least 2 hours to arrive. Machine revealed his identity and examined the scene. Only the footprints were found. The footprints showed footprint A, size 40 men's shoes, from the guest house to the tower. Footprints B and C, size 42 men's shoes, going and returning from the tower. Amu wore size 40 shoes, so footprint A was his. The killer wore size 42 shoes. However, everyone at the lodge could wear the size 42 rain boots stored by the back door. Time of death was determined to be between 11:10 p.m. and midnight. Mr. and Mrs. Su and Hui had solid alibis. Machine couldn't be the killer. Hihara only had 4 minutes, impossible given the lack of running footprints. That left only Xiao Chu, the 15-year-old, who had no alibi at the time of the crime. Police then discovered Amu was a fugitive scammer who had frauded Xiao Chu's grandmother, driving her to suicide. Xiao Chu had motive, but Mixin didn't believe he was the killer. Mixin asked his landlady, Shi Nai, a clock shop owner skilled in solving false alibis, to help. The next morning, Shi Nai studied the footprints and realized the truth. The killer changed shoes. The killer arrived earlier, hid in the clock tower, and after killing Amu, swapped shoes to mislead investigators. The real killer was Hihara, who had gone to the tower before 11 p.m. Amu intended to kill him, but Hihara fought back and killed Amu instead. In panic, Hihara staged the scene and accidentally created a perfect alibi. Confronted with the truth, Hihara confessed. Amu had recognized Hihara during dinner from his habit of scraping utensils, a trait from their school days. Afraid of exposure, Amu attempted murder and paid the price. The case was finally solved. This story comes from episode 4 of the Japanese mystery drama Destroying Alibis, titled The Blizzard Mountain Stay Alibi, adapted from the works of Narui Ichiro Oyama, who is praised as the god of short mystery fiction. His stories often feature few characters and simple plots, yet are built with extremely clever designs. Today's story is particularly special. If you're interested, please listen carefully as I tell it in detail.